The PR-4000 is constructed of a 3x3 11 gauge steel and is rated at 1,000 pounds, meaning it can handle any weights thrown at it other than powerlifters squatting over 1,000 pounds, which is definitely less than 1% of the population as it's so rare. Rest assured, this rack isn't going anywhere. It also has 1-inch west side spacing through the bench zone, as well as 5/8 inch holes. You also have a couple of different options for the uprights and cross members depending on which configuration you're looking for. The uprights have a choice between 80 inch and 93 inches. I went with 80 inches as I lift in a garage and appreciate the extra space. You can also choose between 4-post and 6-post racks and a bunch of different cross member sizes. They have 24 inch, 30 inch, and 41 inch available for whatever size footprint you're looking for. I went with the 41 inch as it allows me the full space necessary to bench and squat inside the rack. You can also pick 24 inch cross members inside and use spotter arms outside the rack instead. If you do this, it's actually gonna be cheaper than a standard 6-post, and it's gonna allow you to add on plate storage as well as the pull down and cable row attachments. As you guys can see, I went with the 6-post PR-4000 with the 41 inch cross members as well as the 80 inch uprights for my needs. This gives me enough space above the rack to not bang into my garage door, while also being wide enough to accommodate multiple lifters as I have myself and my clients training out here on a daily basis. But as you can see, just the base specs on this power rack make it an awesome investment in my opinion. As for the price, the cheapest configuration is definitely a great value without a doubt. One of my favorite things about Rep Fitness is all of the accessories that can offer at a solid price point. The PR-4000 has an ever-expanding variety, which makes it easy to buy just the base rack and upgrade your setup over time. Here are all the accessories you can get on the PR-4000. The base setup requires that you pick a pull-up bar, safeties, and a J-cup at minimum. Everything else is optional. There's a couple different pull-up bars you can get with the PR-4000. You can get the 2-inch standard pull-up bar, the multi-grip pull-up bar, which is what I went with, as well as the globe front mount pull-up bar. As for the safeties, you can get pin pipe safeties, flip down safeties, and strap safeties, which is actually what I went with, as I am a huge fan of them, honestly. They're pretty solid. I'll go more in depth on that here in a little bit. And of course, we got J-cups. They have standard J-cups. I went with the flat sandwich J-cups as I'm a huge fan of this design specifically, but they also make rounded sandwich J-cups, which they go directly in here and they don't have any room to kind of slip off, so those are actually pretty nice as well. And after those mandatory accessories, they also have a bunch of optional accessories that are actually pretty solid as well. They have things like spotter arms, front foot extensions, dip attachments, landmine attachments, weight horns, as you can see in the back there. I'll put more video up front so you guys can see it, but they have those in 6-inch and 12-inch variations. You can get band pegs, leg rollers, ISO lever arms, lat pull down with a cable row attachment as well, and then a belt squat, which they just released I think last year. For my own case, I started with the basic 6-post rack, multi-grip pull-up bar, strap safeties, flat sandwich J-cups, and a pair of weight horns that I showed you guys before. I'm in the process of adding the ISO lever arms and pull downs, as it's gonna expand my training options tremendously. Rep Fitness is constantly adding new accessories for all of their racks, and I'm sure that's gonna continue in the coming years. Now, let's go over each one of the individual pieces of the PR-4000, including the uprights and the cross members, so you guys can get an idea of what they're constructed out of and, what they look like, what they're made of, etc. The uprights offered with the PR-4000 come in 2 different sizes. Depending on the space you have available, you can get these in either 80-inch or 93-inch variations. This one is 80 inches. It's a little bit taller than me, actually. As of now, they also offer these in a couple of different colors, ranging from matte black, metallic black, to red and blue. As you can see, I went with the red uprights, and I think it looks pretty sleek in my opinion. These uprights come in boxes of 2, so you're gonna need to select 2 for a 4-post rack and 3 for a 6-post rack. They also include 4 anchor bolts if you want to anchor your rack to the ground, but I don't think you need to unless you plan on getting the ISO lever arms or the spotter arms as well. It's heavy enough by itself to stay put, which is awesome. These uprights also have 5/8-inch hardware, which is still really overbuilt compared to other power racks on the market, so don't worry. The PR-4000 is definitely a tank and isn't gonna fail you anytime soon. Now we'll move on to the cross members. Rep Fitness has quite a few options for PR-4000 cross members. You can get them in 16-inch, 24-inch, 30-inch, and 41-inch sizes, which allows for various configurations depending on the footprint of your gym. These cross members come in matte black, metallic black, blue, orange, green, and red. I went with the black ones because I think it pairs really well with the red, and those are 2 of my favorite colors. And just like the uprights, they have 5/8-inch hardware, so your rack is gonna be much more sturdy than lesser racks. Also, as you can tell, there are many different ways you can set up your PR-4000 for your specific needs. The different cross member sizes and color options allow you to configure your rack however you like, and these kinds of features are part of why I recommend this rack and Rep Fitness so much in general. The next section is gonna be going over the pull-up bars, the safety, and of course, the J-cups. What's up, guys? If you guys are getting some value from this video, make sure to like it and let me know in the comments below what you think of the PR-4000 so far. Let's get back to the video. Transition of destiny and stuff. Yeah. There are a few different pull-up bars you can get with the PR-4000. The 2 cheapest ones are the 1.25-inch and 2-inch standard pull-up bars. These are great if you just want to do standard pull-ups and chin-ups without spending much. The next option is our multi-grip pull-up bar, which is the one that I went with. As you can see from this very awkward camera angle that I'm showing you right now. This one is definitely the best bang for your buck in my opinion. It has 2 neutral grip positions, a set of angled grips, as well as standard and fat grips. This pretty much covers all of your bases when it comes to the majority of pull-up variations, so I highly recommend it if you're big on pull-ups in general. The final option they have are the front mount and side mount globe grips. These are very similar to the multi-grip pull-up bars, but the main difference is they have what is known as globe grips on them. These are much more difficult to hold onto than a standard bar, so they work awesome for building your grip strength up. But you can also use the regular grips on there too, so it's kind of like a 2-in-1. You get the multi-grip grip bar, but you also get those globe grips, which is pretty nice. If you want a pull-up bar that has pretty much every option you may think of, this might be a good choice for you, honestly. Now the safeties. Safeties! Safeties! It's not working. Oh my God, what's happening? I need help. I need a freaking editor. I need somebody to come and shoot my videos with me. I need friends. I need all of that shit. Like everything else on this rack, you have a couple of different options when it comes to the safeties you choose. The cheapest you can get is the pinpipe safeties. However, I'm not a huge fan of these as I want my barbells to stay in the best condition possible, and I'm sure you guys are the same. However, from the reviews that I've read, while the pipe does get banged up, your barbell shouldn't get beat up as well. You can get these in 24-inch, 30-inch, and 41-inch sizes to fit whatever size rack you decide to build. The next option that I'm a huge fan of is the PR-4000 strap safeties. These strap safeties are constructed of reinforced nylon and it's not going to break under any circumstance whatsoever. Also, because they're straps instead of solid steel, you don't have to worry about your barbell being damaged if you miss a lift. The final and most expensive option is the PR-4000 flip down safeties. These are much higher quality than standard steel safeties from lower quality racks, and the great thing about these is that they have UHMW plastic on top, which stands for ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. I know, it's a mouthful. This plastic offers high abrasion, wear, and impact resistance while being very lightweight, thus making it much easier to protect your barbell on failed reps. These also have 1-inch numbered holes just like the uprights and cross members do, so you can use them with a ton of accessories at any height you choose. You can even attach these to your ISO lever arms to do leg press and hack squats as well. I must say, it's actually pretty crazy what you can do with a proper power rack in a home gym these days. The PR-4000 has a few different J-cup options as well. However, the standard J-cups that Rep sells are incredible for the price. They all have UHMW plastic covering the front, bottom, and back of the cup, and this is going to protect your barbell and your rack as well from scratches and general abrasion. But next up, we have my favorite, which is the PR-4000 flat sandwich J-cups, which are these ones right here. These are much easier to unrack and rack your barbell from what I found after using both. They also have an entire block of that plastic right through here that protects your barbell and adds a ton of stability to the J-cup as well. On top of that, they have Rep's laser engraved logo on it, which honestly, I think it looks pretty awesome. I'm a huge fan of these and definitely recommend them, even though a little bit more expensive than the standard J-cups. The final J-cups that Rep offers are the rounded sandwich J-cups. These are very similar to these, but because they're rounded, when you rack and unrack the weight, the bar only has one place to go. This is awesome as most J-cups allow the bar a little room to roll, which isn't always super secure. So if you're worried about the bar rolling off the J-cup and onto your face on the bench, or even off your back while you're trying to squat, these rounded J-cups ensure your bar is going to stay secure. The PR-4000 also has spotter arms as an option for safeties. These can be used outside the rack and work great for overhead press or even just to rack your barbell rows, Romanian deadlifts, or other exercises. It must be said though, if you get these, you need to bolt your rack down or get the front foot extensions. If you don't, it's possible to flip your rack like some of those other failed videos shown online. And I'm sure none of you watching this right now want to end up in one of those compilation videos if you miss a lift. The great thing about these spotter arms, like all things Rep, they're covered in that same UHMW plastic to protect your barbell, which is fantastic, but expected. It's Rep after all. Since buying my PR-4000, I've saved a ton of space with the included storage, and I can add any accessories I want. The main ones I'm in the process of ordering are the ISO lever arms and the front foot extension, so the whole thing doesn't flip and kill me. What do you guys think of the PR-4000 though? Do you think that everything has to offer, from the accessories, the look, and pretty much the whole entire build quality of everything? Do you guys think that it's awesome? Do you think it sucks? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys are interested in more equipment reviews and buying guides, check out these videos next.